Like you requested on Facebook, between the Ukrainian ration and the Estonian ration, here we've got the Estonian ration. Again, it comes in this plastic bag. It's not real thick, but it's durable enough to keep the items inside of it. And just touching this thing, I know one of these cans, man, has a major dent in it. But I don't feel anything sloshing around in there, so I believe the integrity of the can is sturdy. Now, there are no pull tabs or anything like that, but there is like these little slit notches in the bag. So let's see what's inside of this thing. We'll try these little tear notches first. And seems successful. It worked. And a quick peek inside the bag. Wow, that is something that I wasn't expecting. A whole packet of soft toffee. And it has coffee toffee, choc mint toffee, choc toffee, and caramel toffee. Wow, talk about a nice touch. And it's 150 grams of this stuff, so yeah, pretty cool. Again, we have some of these biscuits. They're Trek and Eat biscuits. So, right. I pulled out a little Ziploc bag, probably to store the stuff that you don't want to eat at the moment. I'm going to turn this sideways. It seems to be easier. Well, there's the date on there. This is good till 2017. And I've got a chicken on there, so maybe this is some kind of like chicken pate, something to that effect. So, that's interesting. Got a bunch of packets. This is Voyager Muesli, obviously for breakfast. Best coffee. We'll have to see if their claim of best coffee holds true. Some raspberry flavored energy drink powder. And most of this is in English. It's got some of it in German, and it's packaged in Germany as a matter of fact, but it also has a little label for Estonian. We have a couple packets of sugar, 4 of those 4 white sugars, some disinfection swabs, pretty reminiscent of what I got in that Swedish ration not too long ago. Some lemon tea. Is this iced tea? Well, we don't know, but and a small little packet of matches. So there we go. What else do we have? Here's a packet of pepper. Okay. Here's a chocolate bar, a Swiss Army chocolate bar with caffeine. How many grams is this? How many grams? 50 grams. I've never seen this. That's kind of neat. Packet of salt. I think this is bread, like brown bread. See, man, it's seen some better days, but sounds like brown bread. And then the first entree, we have, see, man, all beat up, but still, as long as the can integrity is still good, So we've got some of that, like a potato stew with some meatballs. And we have a poor beat up can of, I don't know what that is. I'll show you what it says on there. This is meatballs and tomato sauce. And this is pea soup. Pea soup. Yeah, this one is definitely the poultry pate. Well, here we got the contents of a 24-hour Estonian ration. Let's get this stuff heated up and get this taste test rocking. Okay, as usual, let's go ahead and start off with the drinks. And like during the contents, there were no utensils, so I'll be using my standby Bundeswehr utensils. So let's start off with the raspberry drink. Calls for 500 ml of water. And again, my glass isn't large enough, so we'll just dump it right in there. It has this handy dandy little slit. Help you open up the package. That is a pink raspberry color. And again, it's got the directions on the back and what is all inside of it. So, and we'll give this a stir. And now we've got the lemon tea. See if I can do this correctly. Plop that in, give it a oneer and a twoer around. And didn't have my water ready. And pouring some nice steaming agua. And we'll let this steep. And now the best coffee. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see if this holds up to the best coffee. We're already having issues right now. This looks like it's inside of a bag. Well, that is okay. This is something I don't see every day. It's pretty much like the tea bag. So, well, alrighty then. Okay. Well, we'll just see how this works out. Maybe this is the best coffee. I suppose we'll see. I'm supposing we'll just let that soak in their squeeze bag prior to lifting from cup. So maybe that will help out. Okay, on to muesli. Alright, the muesli has the directions, of course, in Estonian, and you flip it over. It is the Voyager brand, and it is in French, Spanish, I think German's on here too, and English. This doesn't have an amount of water to put in. It's pretty much to taste. If you like it watery, you know, there you go. So to make this a little easier, I'll just mix it in this bowl. And this has milk powder in it, wheat flakes, oat flakes, rye flakes, grapes, pineapple, papaya, powdered sugar, and some caramelized grains. So again, I like mine a little on the thicker side, so we'll just start off by just adding a little and mixing it up. That might be about the right amount. And we'll just let that sit and soak for a little bit. Okay, it's had about a good 5-10 minutes to go ahead and soak in. I'll put a little on my tray right here. And a little bit of milk. So that is what we would have for breakfast. And in case you need a little close-up of that, it looks okay. Okay, and for lunch, of course, we had this like chicken pate or poultry pate, poultry spread. That's got a nice poultry smell, and this is supposed to be eaten cold. And along with that, you have the option of either the bread or the crackers. Well, seeing how for lunch I'm going to do the pea stuff, I figure I'm going to go with the crackers. And you can use these with pate, which I'm going to open up everything anyway, so let's check out the crackers. Maybe. And I got a feeling that these are going to be like the hardtack crackers instead of the crackers that we got the last time, those Wassa crackers. And here we go. They're a little dinged up, but nothing to be unexpected. And these are probably, they smell more sweet than anything else, so this stuff probably does go with that. And for lunch, I assume that I would probably do the pea soup. Now there's two ways. You can toss this in boiling water, or you can cook it over a flame. I decided to toss it in some boiling water, and it did its thing for probably about 15 minutes, which probably needed to be longer because it kind of doesn't want to come out of the can. So I'll tell you what, instead of just having this look like a crime victim on the tray, I'll heat this up again, and we'll be right back. Okay, continuing on with, what the hell here? Continuing on this, I have cooked this on a stovetop now for, 15 minutes. It doesn't seem like this is not supposed to be a soupy kind of thing. It's supposed to be kind of solid. This is blessedly hot. You can see the steam coming off of that, so we'll put some of that on there. And if you look on there, you can see some chunks of ham and some other stuff. It looks pretty pleasant. It's just very, very stiff, or a stiff texture, I should say. And while we're doing it, I'll open up this bread as well. And it's in just a nondescript can, except for what was on the label. And I'm assuming this is going to be like a brown bread or a rye bread, similar to what is found in the German EPA. Yep. Put that right on there. So one thing I really dig about these is when they put these lids on them, so you don't have to eat them all at one time. So you can have some for lunch and you can have some for dinner or breakfast. So, yep. And again, we've got that poultry pate to go with that. And what else do we have in this ration? Of course, we have this big thing of soft Toffies. So let's check these things out. Wow. Yep. And we got some coffee toffee, some of the mint toffee. So, and then there's still a good deal in here, so I suppose that's pretty good. And then of course we've got the Swiss Army Caffeine chocolate. I am, where is this made? Produced in Switzerland, and I can't read the rest of it. But Swiss Army chocolate. Maybe you can see that down there. Well, my dog is trying to come in, so I am going to have to. Come on. Wow, it's dark chocolate. has a, man, this is all just all crumbled up. So let's look at a little bit of oxidation on there, but I'm quite sure. And there's still another half into this ration. And again, now we have our raspberry drink. And it is a stellar pink or fuchsia color. And then, of course, the tea. And take out the tea bag. And we'll set that right there. Now the coffee. The coffee said make sure you take a spoon and you squeeze that bag. Okay. So this might not quite be on camera. Maybe I'll slide it over here. Seeing how I'm not an octopus and I don't have multiple hands. But there we go. It is squeezed, and we'll chuck it in that. So okay, and now for the last entree, the dinner part. This is like supposed to be meatballs and tomato sauce. And look at that thing. Talk about a meatball. So plop some of these on down here with some of this tomato sauce, and that does look like a potato in there. So okay, let's get to sampling some of this stuff. We'll start off with, well, we might as well go ahead and go ahead, drink. We might as well start with this one. This is that meatball in tomato sauce. And I believe this is a potato. Tastes like a potato. I like that. That's good. That reminds me of kind of like those steaks in the Bundeswehr ration. Okay, now let's try some of this pea and ham. It's not really a soup. It's pretty dense. And you can see there's actually whole chunks of, or whole pieces of pea. And if you look in there, you can see some of the ham. And it's really hot. It is really hot, but it carries over the flavor of pea, and of course a little bit of that ham flavor comes over too. I was really kind of iffy and concerned about this. I was like, who would want to have this for a whole complete meal? But when you add it with this stuff and crackers and bread, it probably will do you justice for a good meal. And the one thing I like about this, kind of like the kasha, porridge, is this is really thick. It really sticks to your ribs and will stay with you for a while. So I have no idea if they eat this with the bread. I don't know. So just so I can say that I tried it. And I don't know if this is correct or not, but a little bit of the bread on here. That actually tastes pretty good to me. Almost sort of like a butter substitute, pretty much, because this does have a little bit of salt to it. And then we'll try the poultry. Oh, this is like really, really soft too. I wasn't expecting it to be that soft. So might as well on this same piece of bread. Plop some on that side and give that a try. I don't think pate is the word. This is more like a mousse. But it tastes pretty darn good. If you like chicken, you would definitely like that. Well, let's cleanse the palate with a little bit of this raspberry drink. They do a really good job making their flavors. That company does. So just about everything that they do is pretty good. Okay, now my poor old muesli has been sitting here for a little while, and it has enough time to absorb everything in. You can see the little pieces of fruit down here, and you might be able to see a little few pieces or flecks on there. Well, to me, muesli gets better the longer it sits and soaks and it has time to absorb that water and that powder melt. So this is actually pretty darn tasty. What else are we going to try? Okay, we've got our cracker. And crackers are probably to go with this as well. So we'll give it a little sample. There we go. And I know crackers would probably go good with this, because I know whenever I have split pea soup or something like that, sometimes if it's really wet, I'll throw like a crouton in there or something like that. So let's just try it with a little piece of cracker in there, if we're smart enough to pick it up. That gives it a really pleasant flavor. That's pretty good. So yeah. Okay, and then we have assorted toffees over here. Let's see what we've got. I picked up a coffee toffee, so that's what we will try. Here you go. And it said it's soft, and I was expecting to just be able to bite into it, but it's sort of kind of crumbled apart. And now it's kind of starting to come back together, but it does have a really nice, strong coffee flavor to it. This one will probably take me a second to chow down, so be right with you. Okay, now let's try a piece of this chocolate. There's something like a clinker or something to that effect if you're Australian, or like something crunchy in there. Like right in there, that little white thing. I was not expecting that. Trying to think what kind of bar that would be in the States, but anyway, that was a rather nice surprise. And let's try some of our coffee. It said that this was the best coffee, and I think I've had better. It's not that it's bad. It's bitter. It's a bitter brew. So, well, no, that time maybe it had a better taste. Maybe that chocolate has something to do with the aftertaste. And then, of course, the lemon tea. Pretty good cuppa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was a review of the Estonian 24-hour ration. This was menu number 1. I hope you enjoyed watching this review. I enjoyed snacking on it and eating on it. And I think the next one that I'm going to be doing is that newer version of the Ukrainian ration, and get that one taken care of. And then I've got tons more cool stuff coming. If you've seen me on Facebook, I just got my Italian ration, the ration that I've wanted ever since that I got that Australian Defence Forces ration. And yeah, super stoked to try that ration. So please stay tuned. If you do use Facebook, I usually post vids and stuff like that usually aren't here on my YouTube channel. So feel free to check that out. So, okay, everybody, I'm going to start chowing down with my lunch. So, take care. See you. Bye.